Let's take a look at the latest snow depth and take you all the way up to Alaska. And Alaska has seen an insane amount of snow as of late. They're in fact putting down some pretty healthy snowpack up there. And that will actually start to play a key role into the lower 48's weather as we head towards Thanksgiving and just into the days after Thanksgiving. Let's take a look at some of the scenes that are coming out of Anchorage for the past couple of weeks. In fact, that city alone has seen record amount of snow for November since records began back since 1953, almost up to 40 inches of snowfall so far. Their annual average is right around 78, so that's more than double already what they typically see for the entire winter up there. So if you're new to the channel and like detailed weather breakdowns, hit the subscribe button and you're in. You get all my daily content on this channel, and I would love to reach 225,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And you can help me get there by subscribing to the channel and following all my daily content. And I do have my own weather app now. I'm pretty excited about it. You can actually find it on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple stores. You can go to that store and download it for yourself and let me know what you think about my new PAL weather app. So let's take a look at the setup. Here's the breakdown. Here's the big picture over the next 7 days. So this is from the 16th through your Thanksgiving. What we're going to be finding is there's going to be a building ridge up there towards Alaska. A lot of heat is going to be starting to build across the west and up here into Alaska. And this week, we are going to be seeing a cold front. It's mild for the next several days, but we are going to be seeing a cold front as we go into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. And then as we go beyond that, things get really interesting as we'll have a dominating ridge of high pressure that'll be locked over Alaska there. That'll traverse over that snowpack up there, and Cygnus Sindel create that blocking feature and create the coldest temperatures we've seen so far this fall. And it's going to be a pretty snowy one as well. So this is a pretty significant cold blast that will be coming to the US just into the days after Thanksgiving, and that should actually plunge all the way southbound as kind of a blue northern type cold front will be plunging southbound and hitting most of the central and eastern 2/3 of the US. Let's break down and take you back where we are now. So here's the latest precipitation for the last 48 hours. We talked about this low pressure center that was just kind of stalled around the Gulf Coast regions, and that low pressure, that warm front that was stalled in South Florida, yes, did in fact pick up some areas double digit of rainfall over the last 24 to 48 hours there. And there's that system that we've been highlighting for a while around the 15th is going to be impacting the West Coast. They are starting to get some beneficial rains out there into California, and that system will be continue to move across from west to east. But for the next couple of days, it's definitely going to continue to remain on the milder side for November standards as we go into Friday and as we head into your weekend. And as we head into your weekend, there is the low pressure center, right? That's the same system that was stalled over Florida. Now going to be shifting out off the southeast coast and be running up the eastern seaboard, spreading into those heavier rains along those coastal areas into the Delaware region, back into Long Island, getting into New Jersey, into portions of Connecticut, back into Rhode Island here in Nantucket, and portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, and going into that Maine region. But there's the low pressure, right? As we'll continue to move ashore and move inland, now it'll be spreading some beneficial rains back into portions of Nevada here into the Phoenix regions. Some of those areas could pick up some rainfall across that region. And as it continues to move across from west to east, Sunday is a little bit more significant because we are going to be seeing starting to take advantage of some of that heat that's been building up into the upper levels. And, we have some instability. We're down to a 998 millibar low pressure. We're going to be able to overturn the atmosphere further south into North Texas, back into East Texas, and then further north into Oklahoma and into Kansas. Some of these could actually be on the strong to severe side. And then back behind it, we'll have that initial push of that cold front. So as soon as this system essentially kind of moves out, it'll allow this cold front to move in on the backside, spreading some Intermountain West snows and some chillier air, because the winds are really going to be starting to crank. But we'll have to be concerned about two areas that could pick up some strong to severe thunderstorms. It's right near that low pressure center. This is the setup on Sunday. Will be mainly highlighted over the Oklahoma region, areas like into Tulsa, areas like into Oklahoma City. And then once this shifts off into Monday timeframe, that low pressure center will be mainly over the Dixie Alley region. So these areas will have to be concerned about some of those getting strong, if not borderline severe. So I do expect at least a marginal, some possibly slight risk days for this. Main instability would be your higher wind gust with this particular setup as we head into that Sunday, Monday timeframe. But behind that, there are your winds. So the winds are going to be cranking. So the cold front, it's okay. It's got colder air, but what's going to make it different is it's going to be really brisk and windy behind that front, 30 to 40 miles per hour. So your windshields, it's going to feel colder than what it actually is out there because of the strong, significant winds. They're going to be cranking out of the north. So you're going to feel this front. It's definitely, you're definitely going to be able to feel this front. So by the time you head into, that Wednesday time frame, the day before Thanksgiving, you wake up and all these areas behind the front are actually going to be having some freezing wind chills as far south as West Texas, into Oklahoma, into Arkansas, and points into the Ohio region, and then points northward. So most of these areas will be below freezing, at least feels like it. Some areas obviously, below freezing actual temperatures. But yes, you're going to feel this front after it clears out and moves ahead because of the stronger winds are going to be associated with it. But these systems are pretty progressive, meaning fast moving systems. So where that low pressure center is highlighted over the Dixie Alley region on Monday. So by the time we head into Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, that low pressure center is going to be cranking all the way up here towards Indiana, up here towards Ohio, into the Michigan region. And then you'll have some heavier rain spread back into the regions of DC, into West Virginia here, into Delaware, back up into New Jersey, as this will continue to shift further northbound. And then going into your actual Thanksgiving, it's so fast. Thanksgiving, ironically, is actually going to be your nicest day that'll coming up for next week. It's just the way it works in the weather department. That low pressure center will be moving all the way off the eastern seaboard, and then you'll have a fairly decent day for, November standards. It will be on the chillier side. Here's the breakdown as far as the high temperatures go. So yes, single digits up there in Canada. We'll have widespread teens and 20s across our northern corridor. And then we'll have 30s and 40s across the middle of the country. And then those 50s shift further south and some 60s further south than that. But as we go beyond that, Friday, again, these are fast moving systems. We'll start to look for that blocking, really start to take shape up there into Alaska. This is going to be a dominating ridge. So once that thing forms, will be able to create the funnel effect. The teleconnections are going to be able to align, and that should produce a blue northern type cold front and start to shift it southbound. So it's mainly going to be impacting the western regions, and up into Alaska is going to be under that ridge of high pressure. So you're going to miss out on this cold front, but areas central and eastern 2/3 of the US, you're not going to miss out. And this should actually plunge all the way down to Mexico City and even into Florida. So no one's going to miss out on the action if you live central and eastern 2/3 of the US with this significant cold front that will be coming just in the days after Thanksgiving. And in its wake, with the blue northern, it's going to bring our most significant snowfalls we've seen so far this fall. This is your overall ensembles from the European guidance right now. So this takes into effect the next overall 10 days, and most of this will be behind that first cold front. Then we have the more significant front that will be coming in just into the days after that Thanksgiving time frame, and that will leave some healthy snows in its wake across the Intermountain West regions and then across portions of the Central Plains, heading up through the Ohio Valley and up here and towards the Mid-Atlantic and into New England. This is the European ensemble guidance, and it's the same time frame on the GFS ensembles, printing out the same exact thing. So we've got multiple global guidances following suit with this pretty significant cold front, and also some pretty healthy snows that will be coming along with it as well. And here's the overall Canadian guidance too. So you've got all three bigger global guidances on board, with the European, the GFS, as well as the Canadian, saying, hey, we've got a pretty significant system coming in with that blocking that will be taking shape up there towards Alaska. That cold front will run over that snowpack, and that will keep it colder as it continues to shift southbound. And typically blue northerns move pretty fast, and they're pretty they shift all the way down to the deep south. So most of them don't end until they go all the way down towards Mexico City region. So everybody all along the deep south and really into Florida should feel the effects of this cold front. And that's exactly what the overall European ensemble guidances are printing out, right? We've got this dominating ridge that will be highlighted over Alaska. That will create the blocking feature. You've got the ridge out west, and here's the funnel effect that will be mainly highlighted over the central and eastern 2/3 of the US, plunging all the way down to Mexico. Even Florida gets into the action, and this will spread eastward. So your most significant coldest anomalies will actually be highlighted over the Ohio Valley region with this particular setup. And overall, the GFS ensembles are kind of the same thing. So we've got multiple global guidances, and that cold front should allow the coldest temperatures so far we've seen. And these areas across the deep south actually should some areas pick up their first freeze of the season. If you didn't actually see it with the Halloween cold front, this one would likely be colder than that one, and then obviously have a lot more snow with that, more snow along with it as well than what we saw with that Halloween cold front. So I will definitely keep you well ahead of the storm as this all approaches, as we head towards Thanksgiving and just into the days after on this channel. So guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video, definitely hit the subscribe button, and catch me next update where I protect you before and after the storm.